Hi guys. Today we're going to continue doing our missions with our friend Captain Lightning. Sorry, Captain Thunder is the name I was hoping for, but Captain Lightning will do. So as you can see, we have he wants a devolution mission, and we have the Brainiac invasion mission. We'll keep on doing the Gorilla mission. Which kind of fits with Captain Marvel. He often had these goofy villains, these strange villains. So him fighting intelligent gorillas, uh, it's a Tuesday. It's par for the course. Especially that he would do so with a talking tiger helping him. In addition to the whole Marvel family, of course. So we're to the area where we need to do our missions. So we start with getting our 35% extra attack and also doing a bit of lightning damage. I guess the gorillas are up there. So as you can see, these as a flying character, these platforms are pretty easy to get to. With an acrobat, it's a bit trickier. It's not that difficult, but especially if you've been playing for a while, at some point you kind of get the hang of the various movement modes. But if it's your first character and you just started playing, it can be a bit challenging to try and jump on those platforms. Hi there, thanks for joining us. I'm sorry if I don't have the chat activated. So if you put in a comment through chat, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not seeing it. So I hope you'll forgive me. So today we're going to fight the gorillas, at least for a while. I usually post my videos on YouTube afterwards. So if you want to see what you missed or if you want to see more, you can find them at YouTube. So that should be it. Just looking around a bit. So the next step of our mission is we have a little funny guy who's spamming the chat. It happens. Daisy Smith. There we go. I usually put people who spam the chat box on ignore because it It's not a big deal, but it can get a bit annoying. So at this point, the various enemies are pretty squishy, I guess you could say. Or maybe Captain Lightning is way too powerful. Who knows? And we're done for here. Oh, there's a exclamation point. So let's get rid of our friend the gorilla. And let's try and take it. Should have suspected as much. They don't want me to take it. They're so mean. Okay, so let's go to the next step in our quest. Oh, I hear something. So I have to defeat those gorillas and then click on the machine on the machines. Oh, and I saw there's another quest nearby, so I will go and take it. Usually, it's better to take the side quest before you start your main quest. That way, you can do both quests in parallel. I'm not sure what it was though. Communication breakdown. Okay, so we have to fight the gorillas on the platforms. So let's do that right now. And again, as you can see, it's very smooth going to the platform as a flying character. Not so smooth with an acrobat. Especially considering that at this point you don't have your come on. At this stage you don't have your fast movement mode yet. Like you cannot glide yet. So you really have to figure out how to jump towards the next platform. You have these little thingy that will allow you to jump. I'll show you an example. Like with this here, you can jump to the next platform. But as you saw, it's not. Again, it's not as smooth as just flying to the platform. So flying in this universe online is it's pretty smooth experience overall, unless of course you're stuck with a truckload of lag, which is not a rare thing in on PS3. And even on PS4, there is a bit of a lag here and there. On PC, it depends on how powerful your PC is, I suppose. When I started playing on PC, I had a really crappy PC. It was good enough to run programs like Photoshop, or essentially it was good enough to run the programs I needed to use. But to play games, it really wasn't. Unless it was an old game, like a classic one, like Baldur's Gate. Uh, playing games like DC Universe Online was a bit too much for my laptop at the time. But luckily, I upgraded to a desktop, and when I first got my computer, this universe was running perfectly. It was all kinds of awesome to play on PC with my new PC at the time. But since then, the lag has been creeping into the game more and more with each new DLC. So I suppose one day if I upgrade my PC, it might help a bit. But I have pretty much a high-end PC, so at this point there's an I could upgrade it a bit, but not that much. So I'm not sure how much of a difference that would make. I guess we'll see in a year or two when I decide to upgrade my PC if it makes a difference. Although on PS4 there's no upgrade you can do, and it's the latest gen console, as they say, and still sometimes there is a bit of lag, sadly. Just one more access code. As you can see, I'm competing with at least a few guys over here, so that's the challenging part on the PvP open on the PvE open world, is that there's other people's or other people competing with you for the objectives you need. But when I switch to the PvP open world, that concern will pretty much be gone, thanks to the low population. Okay, so we're done with this part of the quest, and we have to go back and see our friend here, and we have to activate. We have to hack the communication array, and there we go. So we can go back to doing our main mission. Let's go. Usually try to find a spot where there's not too many gorillas. They're not that difficult to defeat, but it can be tedious trying to defeat half a dozen of them at once. As you saw, the targeting system chose another target. It happens. It's my fault because I didn't lock the target I wanted to attack. How'd you do that? You hold the L1 button, and then as you saw, there's a little target on the character, so I'm locked into it. Hi there. Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry I don't have the chat enabled right now, so if you leave a chat comment, I won't reply to you. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I just don't see the chat right now. Very sorry about that. Essentially, right now I'm doing quests with my Captain Lightning character. Essentially, I'm trying to do videos for that could help out possibly new players. So far, I have a bunch of videos with the character, a Wolverine character. I was always planning to do other videos with other characters to show the difference, difference between the various powers, the various movement, and even the difference depending on what mentor you're using. I would have waited maybe a bit longer before doing videos with other characters, but some people didn't seem to like that I was using a Marvel character to do those videos. So went ahead a little faster than I was planning to, and I started making videos with a DC character. But I'll make videos with a whole bunch of characters. I have a bunch of Marvel and DC characters, but I also have characters of my own creation, and uh, and I even have a few independent characters like the Phantom or Spawn. So depending on the power I want to showcase or the weapon I want to explain, I'll probably switch to different characters as needed. So here we go, we're done with this quest, and we have brand new hand blasters. So let's equip that. And let's equip our potion. So as you saw, I just clicked on the potion and it equipped it where it's supposed to go. So it won't always do that, but let's enjoy it while we can. So now we're going to go to Gorilla Grodd's lab and continue our mission. I have a lot of characters. The reason for that is quite simple. I enjoy creating new characters, and I enjoy playing different characters. Uh, so I create lots of them. Usually, when people see the amount of characters I have, they think that I play. They assume that I must be playing a lot. Not really. Also, I started creating a lot of characters when around the time of Origin Crisis. I had a handful of characters at that time, but then I was getting burnt out of playing what was at the time the endgame content, which meant essentially grinding the same handful of quests over and over and over. So I got pretty sick of that, and I must admit that at the time of Origin Crisis, for various reasons, I was getting sick of this universe. I even almost gave up on the game also. Uh, so then at some point I figured, let's make a new character for a change of pace. And I had almost forgotten how fun it was to do the leveling missions. Like some of those missions I hadn't done at the time I'd been playing for about, well, since the game went free to play, so about a year and a half, maybe a bit more. And and some of those missions I hadn't done in literally a year, if not more. Like the gorilla missions, there's quite a few of those missions that you only do once as you level up your character, and you never do those missions again. So it was real fun to create brand new characters and do those missions with those brand new characters. Also, it allowed me sometimes to create to try out different powers, different weapons. But I wouldn't. I didn't always keep all the characters I created. Sometimes I would create and delete. Create a character, level it up to level 30, and I would delete it and create a new one. Level it up to take it to level 30 and delete it. Create a new one. So I created and deleted a lot of the characters that I had created. I deleted them. But once in a while, I would create a new character and say, oh well, I really like this one, so I would keep it around. And slowly, like that, the amount of characters I had would build up. Oh, and now we're going to have a team up of Captain Marvel with the Flash. I haven't been able to really capture the look of Captain Marvel. This is about as close as we can get at this point. But hopefully, I'll get maybe the Captain Marvel T-shirt and a few other pieces of gear that will allow me to upgrade the look a bit. As you can see, I'm spamming a bit too much my power, so pretty much drained my power bar, my blue bar. That happens. And because of that, I'm having a hard time blocking, since you need at least a bit of power to be able to block. In the past, I would buy out the breakout trinket. Like there's a PvP breakout trinket you can get pretty early in the game. I would usually buy the breakout trinket so that I wouldn't really have to block, but I could break out when I was stunned or sent on the floor. But sadly, they've disabled all the PvP gear. I'm going to skip the cinematic since you can't really hear it. But since they've disabled all the PvP gear in PvE phase, uh, using the trinket is no longer an option. So we got a new piece of a nice piece of shoulder blades. And we're done for here. So we're going to, okay, let's wait a bit. Somehow our journal doesn't seem to agree with us. Let's leave and see if it makes a difference. Sadly, the UI needs help. Uh, no, busted. Okay, luckily I know where I have to go, so I don't really need the journal for that. But it's one of those nice things that happens too often in this universe. When it's not your loadout that disappears, it's your journal that goes blank. When it's not the journal that goes blank, it's the game that crashes. It's always fun, I suppose. It's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Let's see it. Nope.
Hey, I'm a little busy right now. We've all got to unite. Glad you're out there fighting for us.
Okay, our journal is back.
Head back to the police station and talk to the Flash. Trust me, he's going to get there first.
Starlab
confiscated Grodd's tech, which should put a stop to his plans for world domination.
Hey, it's my partner in Monkey Ball. You up for a new crisis? Cause Hive's taking over the Metrodome, and Superman thinks you can handle it.
Oh yeah, a new chest piece. So let's use that. I'm gonna use the XP booster now. Probably. I'll think about it.
Welcome to Exploration Adventures with Booster Gold. I'm Booster Gold. This adventure will take you to the fantastic Metropolis Metrodome, home of the
Got a
Metropolis
new
Meteors
PowerPoint.
football team.
Let's go with this one. So for our weapon, we have a new combo, which will be this one. So it will allow us to brawl using the hand blasters. I mentioned in the previous video that technically the hand blaster is a ranged weapon, but you can do a good job doing brawling with it. So and for the power, we got essentially bioelectric surge, which will give us a bit of health when we get injured. So it'll give us a bit of a healing capacity if we need it. And so right now we could do the pest control, but let's do the Brainiac attack.
This is Oracle. You took out a Brainiac ship, so taking out his forces on the ground should be a...
And as you can see, there's plenty of people today. Pretty cool Superman here. A beefed up Superman, but still pretty cool. Oh, a nice, really nice Starfire. That looks like another Superman dude. That's the pre-made Superman and Batman. Yeah, sometimes we'll see some pretty neat look. Uh, Pretty cool manga character. So we're going to go see our friend over here. And let's use our booster bundle. Why not? We can afford to. So essentially, this is an XP plus booster box. For about an hour, we will gain more XPs.
Look at this mess. Cover me while we take out the...
Not sure if we'll keep playing for an hour, but you never know. So now we have to destroy a bunch of evil Brainiac robots. So let's get to it. Oh, and we have a friend, Garakio. we seems to be done here. So the next part of the quest is over there. Essentially, I used the XP booster early on in order to be able to get the supersonic flight mode as quickly as possible. Lots of people here today. So as you can see, there's a huge yellow arrow telling us where to go. So pretty straightforward. And once you know where to go, you don't really need the arrow. But it's still there if you're unsure where to go with your for your objective. As you saw, it's pretty easy to brawl with the end blasters. So I guess it makes it somewhat versatile. It's good for melee and it's good for range. It's one of the I guess it's pretty much one of my favorite weapons. That and the shield. The shield is all kinds of awesome. At throwing it around, it's hard to describe, but it's very relaxing. Okay, what's wrong? Oh, I still need to destroy some robots. I thought I'd done finish the quest. Well, let's assign her a new skill point. No reason not to. See here, we're going to have the old tap triangle. So let's try it out. Oh, wrong one. There you go. That's a pretty cool and pretty powerful attack, and it's a block breaker, so it's always good in my book. At this point, 35% extra damage seems a bit pointless since you pretty much can one-shot most opponents. But it's a good habit to take to always use it first, and then you do your attack. So essentially, this character so far is a pretty good balance between range attacks and melee attack. So that should be good. This used to be the mission where I would try to get my 100 hit counter, because essentially it would the at some point the enemies would respawn as quickly as you would kill them. So you could essentially go on an endless killing spree. You would because there was a lot more enemies and they would spawn a lot faster than they seem to do now. So early on in the game, when I would reach this mission, I would try to get my counter as high as possible. The highest I went was probably something like 350 hits. So not sure if it's because I messed up or I just didn't bother to continue. But 350 is about as high as I went to try to get the hit counter going. So we seem to be done, I think, if you're here. So let's go to our journal, complete the quest,
Those were the comma rays messing
and
with
the
my
next
signal.
step is already selected for us. So let's
Franklin
go.
doesn't even know what hit him. Head back to
So
the
we're at
city
level
and get my
7.
heroes back.
When we reach level 9, we're going to be able to put a point in super speed, supersonic, sorry. So it's going to give us our faster movement mode, which shouldn't take too long thanks to the booster XP booster pack or booster whatever we took, booster plus. And you saw that purple light effect around the character that pretty much was telling me that I was still that I was still having the XP boost. So essentially, as I should do that for about the next hour as I zone in, zone out.
Keeping your equipment in good working order makes all the difference.
So
It's
let's
how we
sell
train at the
all the
latest
junk we
training
have,
center.
and we're good to go. I didn't bother checking what gear they had. Most of it probably isn't an upgrade anyway at this point. The sad thing with a lot of vendor gear is that it's pretty much useless nowadays. When I started playing free to play, I would go through the various vendors and try to buy the best gear to be able to progress. Sadly nowadays, uh, the gear usually isn't worth it. Like the gear you find is usually better, or by the time you can buy the gear, uh, like sometimes you'll go and you say, oh, there's some nice gear, and oh, you don't have the level requirement to buy and use the gear. So well, you can buy it, but you can't use it. So at some point, I pretty much stopped just going because by the time you can buy the gear, it's obsolete already.
Given your past work, I know you're the one to handle this situation. The Hive and Queen Bee are usually
So here we have to defend those little guys. Although I think there's
Metropolis Metrodome.
a side quest there nearby. I'll
Exobytes
go and
are
get it
used to hold mass payloads of exobytes.
when I'm done with these guys.
Exobytes are critical to the vibranium.
So you see there's a timer above their head, like there's a shield, and around the shield there's some sort of timer. Essentially, that's the time we have to protect them. So it's almost down, and there we go. So we'll go get the side quest now. I think it's usually over there.
Think you can grab some of those blasting scepters from the Hive Stingers? They're loaded with neurotoxin. And need some way to neutralize it. One of the best we can get. The more likely we can get their defense.
There's usually a few exclamation points here. Somehow I just can't. Oh, there it is. So let's go protect our friends. Yeah, it's strange that we have to protect the guys from Lake Score. Or is it from Stardown? Oh yeah, it's guys from Star Labs. Not sure why I thought it was guys from Lake Score.
You came along just in time.
So we have to protect one, two more. So let's come over here and let's do that.
Hand in hand. Thanks a lot. Saved our butts.
And as you can see in the chat box, players are their usual mature selves. But it's players are one of the few drawbacks in this game, I guess. As you can see, there's lots of guys right now, so it's kind of hard to try to get the objectives I need. Because essentially we all need the same objectives, so we're pretty much competing against each other. That's one of the bad things about this universe, if you ask me, is that they encourage a little too much competition. What's wrong with a little competition, you might say? Well, sadly, it's pretty much the opposite of cooperation. So once you start doing missions where you have to cooperate with each other, people, a lot of players, all they want is to keep on competing. So they'll compete for who has the most kills or who has the most damage on the scoreboard, and they'll sometimes they'll ignore certain mission objective just to keep on burning and to keep on getting more damage out, as opposed to just completing the objectives. Or even worse, sometimes they won't even pick up fallen players because if they stop burning for a second or two to pick him up, they won't be doing as much damage as they want. I didn't notice if we were done with the mission. We seem to be done. So we're going to go assign our next PowerPoint, which we have a little choice at this point. As you can see, like some powers have some level requirement, so we won't be able to take them yet. And also, you have to take the previous power in the chain in order to take the next one. So in order to take this one, like Shockwave, we would have to take Wired first. So let's see, do I take Mega Vault or Group Transducer? I seem to recall that the Group Transducer was holy crap. Let's go with Mega Vault for now. We're going to be able to change that down the line, so it's not a big deal. And usually in my loadout, I'll put my supercharge on the round button on the red circle. No real reason for that other than that's what I'm used to doing. So there's no strategic reason. Or if there is a strategic reason, it's because I'm playing a lot of different characters. So it makes it a bit easier for me to know uh, where my powers are. Like my muscle memory is pretty much set that way. So no matter what character I use, I know that the triangle button will be a range power, and the square button will be some sort of protective power. Although sometimes or some crowd control like this one. And the circle button, the red circle button, it's always my supercharge. So from one character to the other, it makes it easier to use my loadout. Oh, and we have a little side quest here. Two side
Looks like a real
quests.
mess out there.
Aren't we lucky?
Put a dent in their supply
And of
chain.
course,
Let's get a foothold.
some evil stinger wants to prevent me
Madison,
from taking the
take
quest.
out some of the royal drones patrolling the area. Report
Oh,
back
we'll
to
be
me
good
when
now.
you've finished up. We've got a plan to weaken Hive's assault. Mr. Luther is
Again,
providing
this usually is an area where there's a lot of players and there's also a lot of objectives. So it's pretty much a given that we will compete against each other.
looks good, Commander.
So as you can see in the quest tracker, there's a lot of different objectives here. Oh, and I hear something. Oh yeah. So as you can see, the XPs are rising pretty quickly thanks to the XP booster. Let's brawl him a bit. So pretty soon I should be able to use the supersonic movement ability, which makes flying around much faster. And you saw this is pretty good when you're surrounded by enemies. They all go flying in the air, and we have an evil villain helping us out. So in the PvP open world, in the PvE open world, I guess that's one of the nice things is that you can actually team up with the villains as well as the heroes. So I guess you do cooperate a bit more than on the PvP open world. In the PvP open world, obviously you're competing with other players. Here you're competing a bit, but you can help each other out a bit too. There was a time where at some point I was hunting sub avatars because I was essentially I was farming for the astral alloy suit, which is a suit that the sub avatar was giving out, and I had the whole suit except the head. I was for the longest time I was still missing the head. So at some point I said, okay, let's put some time into farming for the evil sub avatars and try to get the head I'm missing. And I must have spent a month farming those freaking avatars, and not just like once a day. I would kill five, six day after day after day, and even some days I would literally spend the whole day doing nothing but that. And sadly, even after a month of doing that, I never got the freaking head. So at some point, I gave up on that. I finally got it like I don't know 2 years later by accident. I think we are done here. Oh yeah, level 9.
Carry a hypnotizing neurotoxin.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Now
we'll
we're
save
talking.
people to resist it.
Oh, a little blue exclamation point.
This is Luther to LexCorp. Keep the bugs away from my exobites at all costs. I'm sending in reinforcements to help beat back the hive, so I repeat, defend the exobites.
I think we got a
Myself if necessary. Are we
new pair
clear?
of gloves.
Luther out.
Oh yeah, and obviously a new skill point. So the very first thing you have to do is buy the supersonic. So as soon as you reach level 9, it's no brainer. You don't even ask yourself, what do I take? You take the supersonic, and then you can fly much faster. It makes going around much easier, and also like and so that way once you start doing the explorer missions that Booster Gold gives you, well, it makes doing those missions much easier, and much faster. So here we're going to have a bunch of friends helping us out, it seems, which is okay. Essentially, we have to defend this turret, and we have our friend Prototype 11598 who's giving us a hand. So why not? So as you can see, the first one is just done right now. So so as much as sometimes we're competing with other players, other time we can help each other out. So it more or less evens out. Oh, I didn't defeat. Thought I was done with the royal drones. Uh, as you can see, the royal drones are like the big armored bees. So they're pretty easy to spot in the crowd. I'm not sure if it's because it's the first time I've seen them on the PS4, but they seem different somehow. Might be just the textures that are a bit better than on PS3. There we go. So now we're going to be able to go into the Hornet's Nest. And we have a brand new helmet. Oh, ain't that sweet.
inside the Metrodome
Well, we're not wearing a helmet, but
before she steals their minds
that's okay.
and converts them into drones.
And of course, the first thing we do is take the side quest.
The Hive's defenses when we came across LexCorp troops looting the place. They fired on us and ran. We gotta round them up before they cause more trouble.
When Luther hears about this, you're going
Let's grab this little thing here and throw it. Come on, throw it over there. I thought I would pull just a few of them, but didn't seem to work. We got a Warhammer. Too bad we don't use it. That's okay. Sometimes there is a. Ah, there it is. As you can see, it's pretty smooth exploring areas with a flying character. Not so smooth with an acrobat, since you're stuck to the wall, and also being stuck to the wall sometimes will mess up the camera. Like you'll be way too close to the wall, and you won't really see, you won't really understand what you're seeing because you're seeing it from way too close. Oh, there he is. So let's free our friend.
Excellent.
And let's take our exclamation point.
Hive mind transmission. Ensure neural devices always function at optimal parameters.
I'm not sure if it's because we missed them or Maybe they just respawned. Oh, we got a belt. And a brand new belt. Is it good? Nah, no good. And we have a Destile already. So let's rescue our technician and let's keep going. So pretty simple again. You start with a power, then you get your 35% extra damage, and then you get to cracking skulls.
Everybody knows you're working for Star Labs. Thank you. The drones kept it very... About time someone showed up. I have too much work.
You just saved vital
Oh
resources.
yeah, level 10.
Although Lex doesn't see it, we all need to be working together. We'll save that fight for another
Hive
day.
mind transmission. Target acquired. Sting them.
So we've got a brand new power. So let's go see what we can take. Nothing. Let's go for this one. So essentially what that does is that it imbues our weapon with some electric damage. So essentially we're going to do a bit more damage. Like if you see there's a little targeting system, a little target underneath our, there we go. There's a little target underneath our character's name, that green little target. That means we're doing extra damage. Or it means it's an attack buff, and in this case we're going to do extra damage with. But it doesn't last very long, as you can see. But if you're a guy who uses mostly weapon attacks, it's worth having. Because essentially you just start it and then you do your weapon attacks. Then as soon as the power's effect stops, then you cast it again.
Knows you're working for Star Labs. The science police are in Star Labs.
There seems to be one guy left. Oh, there it is.
My day. I got my rights.
The thing also with the buff is that it gives you extra attack and it gives you your 35% all at the same time. Of course, once we start using the max damage mode, the extra 35% won't matter, but it will still remain the same. Like as soon as we cast the power, we're going to have also our extra damage, both thanks to the power and thanks to the 60% extra damage from the max mod, the max damage mod. There seems to be one guy left. Oh, there he is. That's a pretty sweet attack. I like this attack here. That's one of those I kind of like.
Intruder detected. Initiating defense protocols. Alert Hive soldier beams.
It used to be one of the combos I was using a lot. But sadly, since Weapon Mastery, a lot of combos are essentially as soon as you have your Weapon Mastery combos, why would you use anything else? The Weapon Mastery do so much more damage.
The Hive mind has been breached. Overriding directive. Bring the exobytes to Brainiac. Bring the exobytes to Brainiac.
Bring the exobites to Brainiac!
So sadly, once you
Guards!
since Weapon Mastery has been added to the game, a lot of those weapon combos are only useful this early in the game. At some point in the game, you pretty much never use them anymore.
I will serve the queen. Keep away from her power. It'll mess with your head.
There we go.
And Brainiac in the head.
So we're going to skip the cinematic, which is sad because it's one of the nice parts of the game. But what can you do?
Hive mind transmission. The queen commands us.
And with chest piece, why not? And that's it for that. Oh, and we're going to get some new boots. Hopefully it'll be good.
But hey,
A
one
bit
less
better than what
job.
we have.
Since you're so good with insects,
So
how
now we
about
can
some help
leave,
debugging my mainframe?
or can we? Oh yeah, we can
It's a
leave.
hacker chip.
Now we know.
So we have to go back to speak to Flash.
Using her
And
drone
thanks
to
to our
exobytes.
new speediest movement mode, we can get there much faster than we could have before.
And thanks. Superman out.
And also, we're going to be able to go to the watchtower, if I'm not mistaken, after this mission.
So now you're the hero-sized bug zapper. Nice. I'll be working with you again soon.
Oh, new wind blaster. It's good. The radar enhancer will be good for later. So let's go and repair and sell.
Keeping your equipment in good working order makes all the difference, as well as making sure you've got the latest, greatest gear. Keeping your
Let's
equipment in
let's
good
take a
working
look at
order
this
makes
gear.
all the difference, as well as making sure you've got the latest,
So as you can
greatest
see, essentially, oh, the pants are nice. As you can see, there's not much in terms of upgrade we can get from here, but we do have a nice pair of pants, so why not?
Keeping your equipment in good working order makes all the difference, as well as making sure you've got the latest, greatest gear.
Let's look at the other guy.
Star Labs' goal is to keep our allies equipped with the most advanced technologies.
Well, color me surprised.
Star Labs' goal is to keep our allies equipped with the most advanced
If I appear a bit
technologies.
mixed up in my buttons, I've been playing Destiny a bit too much lately, so now we can go to the watchtower. So let's
Welcome here. Great news. All your good work has made a difference.
let's go there. So I'll stop the video here. Essentially, next time I'll be with this character. I'll be exploring the watchtower. So thanks, guys, for listening, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye.